Do you want to know the #1 secret I've been using for years to come up with my own creative, intricate, and expressive solo fingerpicking pieces? In this video, I'm going to share a simple method for fingerpicking the ukulele beautifully and expressively in a solo. My name is Brett, and I'm from Ukulele Tricks, a website that helps you become a better ukulele player. A lot of beginners think they have to have years of experience before playing like this. But in this video, I'm going to share a simple process you can immediately start using to come up with your own fingerpicking solos today. So make sure you watch this entire video. Now, before I do that, let me recap what I covered in the last two videos. In the first video, I showed you why the old do-it-yourself scattershot approach to go from beginner to proficient solo fingerpicker isn't the best way to achieve your dream of playing the ukulele as a solo instrument. And I explained why my 15-minute play-to-learn method works a lot better, because you fully immerse yourself in the style of fingerpicking the ukulele as you learn. And I show you exactly how to practice, what to practice, and when to practice to achieve your goal. And in the second video, I also shared exactly how you can get started with fingerpicking the ukulele with a simple arpeggio pattern that is actually going to be the foundation of the solo you play in this lesson. In case you haven't watched those first two videos yet, make sure you do that right now because we covered a lot of important things in those, and I don't want to leave you in the dust. Now, I'm really excited because I'm going to share with you a simple technique that I've never quite shared publicly before that will make you a creative and solo ukulele player. A lot of us think, I can't be super creative because I'm kind of new, or I just started, or I haven't put my time in yet. Well, I want to show you a really simple way to be a creative ukulele player that I think you're going to find to be a lot of fun. And don't worry, it's super easy. So if you're a beginner to fingerpicking and you've watched the videos up until now, then you're totally ready for this. This will be perfect for you. I call it the first time Fingerstyle-r trick. So let me walk you through exactly how this works and how you can start using it today to fingerpick solo. First, we're going to take the arpeggio pattern you learned in the last video where you pluck the C string, E string, A string, and E string in succession, like so. But this time, we're going to count out that pattern to what's called an eighth note count of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and so on. Here's what that sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... You'll remember from the last video, you practiced switching from a C to G7 chord. This time, we're going to play the pattern and switch every 2 measures, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... For this lesson, we're going to keep that C to G7 chord change the same, but we're going to make our solo sound more melodic and intricate. To do this, we're going to use C and G7 chord variations. Now, this is really cool, and I'm excited to show you this. A lot of beginners don't realize there are often more than a dozen different ways to play the same chord across the ukulele fretboard. By playing these chord variations up the fretboard, we're going to emphasize higher melody notes played on the bottom A string, which is going to make what we're playing sound more intricate, interesting, and expressive. That said, this lesson will challenge your fretting hand a little bit, but I promise it's nothing you won't be able to learn. So, what are these chord variations? For the C chord, we're going to have 3 different variations we choose from. Variation 1 is already familiar to you. It's where you place the ring finger on the bottom A string and let the other strings ring open. But we can spice this up with variation 2 of the C chord, which is played by placing the ring finger on the 7th fret of the bottom A string and letting the other strings ring open. Sounds a little bit more interesting, right? Then we have variation 3 of the C chord, which is played by placing the ring finger on the 10th fret of the bottom A string and letting the other strings ring open. Notice how we go up the fretboard and change the C chord variation. We emphasize a higher note in the chord. This gives it a more interesting and intricate sound for listeners. Now let's do that for the G7 chord. Variation 1 of G7 is already familiar to you, where you place the middle finger on the 2nd fret of the C string, index finger on the 1st fret of the E string, and ring finger on the 2nd fret of the bottom A string. Let's spice that up and play variation 2 of G7, where you place the middle finger on the 5th fret of the C string, index finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, and ring finger on the 5th fret of the bottom A string. Pretty cool, and notice how this position slides really nicely from that first variation, where you don't even have to move your fingers off of the strings. Check this out. And then we have variation 3 of G7, where you bar or press down on the bottom 3 strings at the 7th fret with the index finger, and place the middle finger on the 8th fret of the bottom A string. Okay, so just to recap, our C chord variations are like so. And our G7 chord variations are Now let's make you a first-time fingerstyler with this trick. For this trick, you're going to switch from that C to G7 chord, but every time you switch, you're going to pick a new variation. Let me play you an example where I'm going to come up with a fingerstyle solo just using these chord variations. Check it out. So what in the world did I just play there? Well, I created something new, but to do that, I followed just 3 steps. First, I took the repeating picking pattern. The whole time, the picking pattern never changed. Second, I picked the C to G7 chord progression as a chord progression I wanted to play for this solo. And 3, every time I changed between a C to a G7 chord, I picked a different variation for each of those chords to create a more intricate and interesting fingerstyle solo. All right, I hope this is sparking some ideas for you because now it's your turn. Here's how I want you to apply the 15-minute play to learn method and what I want you to spend at least 15 minutes on today. In the first 5 minutes, warm up and practice the picking pattern. In the second 5 minutes, practice the C and G7 chord variations that I taught you in this video. And then in that last 5 minutes, try your hand at coming up with your own fingerstyle solo using these chord variations. By practicing these exact steps, you'll be improving your picking hand technique, fretting hand technique, and experience the satisfaction of fingerpicking solo. And for my most ambitious students, I have an extra challenge for you. In the link below this video, I have a bonus worksheet you can download to print out and come up with other chord progressions, as well as an additional trick for how you can come up with those chord variations with the Ukulele Tricks chord library tool. Be sure to grab this worksheet if you want to take this concept further and make even more fingerpicking solos. If you've enjoyed this trick, then I've got some good news. In my upcoming course, Fingerpicking Tricks, I take you even deeper into the world of fingerpicking the ukulele in multiple styles, like picking the chords of a song you normally strum, or playing solo arpeggio pieces with more intricate melodies, and teaching you how to play melodic fingerstyle pieces by famous composers like Bach and Beethoven. And I teach you chord melody, where you strum the chords of a song and pick the melody at the same time. This course is going to launch in a few days, so make sure you keep your eyes open. This upcoming course is the best training I've ever released on how to take students from beginner to proficient, creative, and expressive solo fingerpickers. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you click the link under this video and put your name on the early bird waitlist. Everyone on the early bird waitlist will get access to the registration link the night before the program opens to the public. So again, make sure you put your name and email address on that early bird waitlist so I know you're interested. Just click the link below this video, enter your details, and your spot will be reserved and you'll get early access to the program. In the next video, I'll show you the complete plan from beginning to end that you need to follow to fingerpick the ukulele solo. It's everything I wish I knew when I first started to fingerpick, and I know it's going to be something that really helps you find a path forward and play the music you want to play. I'm going to peel back the curtains and show you every single step you have to take. You don't want to miss that video because you'll know exactly what's required to meet your goal of fingerpicking the ukulele solo. Thanks so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next one. I'll see you there.